So a question I keep hearing is, do you really even need a gimbal using the iPhone 11? Learn how to turn your smartphone into a professional quality video camera. Be sure to check out our mobile filmmaking courses, master the FiLMiC Pro app, and learn about smartphone video and cinematography. And also, don't forget, we have a companion filmmaking podcast. Links are in the description. And this all has to do with the ultra-wide lens because it is stabilized. It's not optical stabilization, it's software stabilization. And because it's so wide, the phone is very smooth. So before we compare it to the gimbals, we first need to see if it'll even fit on a gimbal. With the ultra-wide lens, will we see the arm? Will we see the actual device, the gimbal? So we got the Zhiyun M2, the DJI Osmo Mobile 2, the Zhiyun Smooth 4, and over here on the edge of the frame, we've got the Moza Mini-Mi, Moza Mini-Mi. And down here on this end of the table, we have more unique style gimbals. This is the Moza Mini S, it's foldable. This is the FeiyuTech Vlog Pocket, it's foldable also. And then this is the FreeFly Movi Cinema Robot. This is probably my favorite smartphone gimbal of all time. But will the iPhone 11 Pro work with this gimbal? Or any of these gimbals? And I'm talking about, again, with the ultra-wide lens. So here's the basic setup. I'm going to test each one of these gimbals in the studio, and I'm using the mannequin Ripley. She's a stand-in that I use for different demos, lighting demos, etc. So now let's check out the gimbals. I'm using FiLMiC Pro and the ultra-wide lens. So first up, we'll do the Zhiyun M2. And if you've seen my previous videos on this gimbal, I've had a little bit of trouble with this, balancing it in particular, but taking the case off with the iPhone 11 Pro seems to help a lot. You can see right now that it's more or less balanced without me turning the gimbal on, but now I'll turn the gimbal on. And away we go. I would say it's pretty responsive. So this one works well. All right, now the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. By the way, if you're wondering, I do not have the newer Osmo Mobile 3. Lifted the phone up no problem, but I see a problem using the ultra-wide lens, and we'll see how it looks. Got a problem. Houston, we've got a problem. The gimbal itself works fine, which is not surprising, but seeing the arm is not good. I can push in though in post-production if I wanted to. Okay, now the Zhiyun Smooth 4. Okay, I'm using the Zhiyun Smooth 4, and again, we've got the arm in the shot. Gimbal works fine, but of course, the arm is a problem. But it can be reframed in post-production. All right, now the Moza Mini-Mi, and it's a similar story. I can see the arm, and I even did this. I pushed the phone out to the left trying to minimize what it's seeing. This Moza has a good payload capacity, so I thought maybe it would work. So I'll give it a try, but ultimately to make this work, and you're seeing a pattern here, the phone has to be out further, and then you'd end up needing to use a counterweight. And again, you've got the arm in the shot there. I have the phone pushed out to the left about an inch or so, but it needs to be further to make this work. Go into flashlight mode. That's interesting. Okay, flashlight mode works. I'm now in flashlight mode, and that is the winner on this gimbal. So flashlight mode is using the gimbal like a flashlight. You lay it out parallel to the ground, the phone swings up, and then now you're not seeing the arm using the ultra-wide lens. So this is a good fix. Flashlight mode is actually one of my favorite ways to shoot with gimbals. All right, because of my discovery with the Moza Mini in flashlight mode, I decided to try it on the Smooth 4 because this is a way I have always liked to use this gimbal, and it works on the Smooth 4 as well. So this is a good hack, more or less, to be able to use the ultra-wide lens on these gimbals. And so I also went back and checked the Osmo Mobile, and it works okay. The Osmo Mobile is a little bit more compact gimbal, and so it bumps a little bit with these larger phones. But it does work in flashlight mode, sort of. It's not perfect. I actually wouldn't really recommend shooting in flashlight mode like that. At least in my experience, it's not great. It does kind of work, but not very well. Not at all like the other two. All right, so now to the more unique gimbals, these foldable gimbals, and then onto the Movi Cinema Robot. First up is the Moza Mini-S. This is the Moza Mini-S in the normal configuration, and you're seeing the arm. So let's try flashlight mode with this one. All right, Moza Mini-S flashlight mode looks like it's going to work. Yep, it works well. Okay, now the FeiyuTech Vlog Pocket. This is a really small gimbal. It's a micro gimbal, really, but it will hold a surprisingly good amount of weight. You're not seeing any arm there in the shot, so this one looks like it's going to work. One thing cool about wide lenses is even small moves seem pretty dramatic. So the Vlog Pocket kind of surprised me. It worked very well, held the iPhone no problem. It does feel a little bit cheaper, doesn't feel quite as high quality as some of the other gimbals, but the main thing is, it works. Okay, so now the last one in this test, the Movi Cinema Robot, and it's my favorite gimbal, but I can tell you without question, we'll see the arm, because I see the arm often with the regular wide lens. It is rock steady though, I love this gimbal. Okay, now the Movi Cinema Robot, you can see a big problem right off the bat, right there. So obviously the Movi does not work with the ultra-wide lens. Again, it wasn't a surprise at all. And with the Movi, you can't go into flashlight mode, at least not any way that I've ever discovered. So if you want to use the ultra-wide lens, the Movi is out. And now for the iPhone 11 Pro Max by itself. This is me hand-holding with the ultra-wide lens, no gimbal, no arm besides my own. It looks pretty good. It's not as smooth as a gimbal, at least to my eye right now. And to my eyes in editing. You could definitely use it to shoot shorter gimbal shots, but longer takes like this, not really, not in my opinion. So if you want this ultra wide look with ultra steady motion, I would still use a gimbal. The phone is good, don't get me wrong, but not as good as a gimbal. So just to recap, if you want to use the ultra wide lens on the iPhone 11, you got to shoot in flashlight mode on most of these gimbals. The Zhiyun M2 works great with it. The Vlog Pocket works great. The Movi Cinema Robot does not work with the ultra wide. But of course, all these gimbals still work great with the standard wide, the tele, or of course most third-party lenses with counterweights. And for those wondering, I'm still working on the Zhiyun M2 review, the full review, but I will have that done eventually. And I got this new toy. So look for a video about this gimbal coming soon too. Gimbals, gimbals, gimbals. There's gimbals falling from the sky. They're everywhere. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Blake Calhoun. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.